Stocks our strategists feel are poised to deliver positive returns are featured now in their top stock picks of the week.
There's upbeat news on two tech companies, and our analysts, strategists, call them what you will, Nina Mishra and Brian Hamilton here to deliver the news on each. Nina, we'll start with you. Cisco Systems,
Yes.
They're kind of diversifying into other
Exactly.
areas now.
Yeah. The market is near all-time highs thanks mainly to hopes of further stimulus in Japan and Europe and better than expected earnings so far. But I think there are still a lot of macroeconomic and political uncertainties. So the market is going to continue to be volatile in the second half as well. And I think these high quality dividend growing companies, I still like them and I think they will continue to do well.
Okay.
And Cisco is one such company, very stable business, generates a lot of cash every quarter and also returns a lot of cash to that to their shareholders in the form of dividends and buybacks. Earlier this year, they had increased their dividend payout by 24%. So the current dividend yield is 3.5%, which is great in current environment. And as you mentioned, traditionally they are known for routers and switches. They are makers of networking hardware.
Yep.
But that business has been slowing down because companies are not upgrading their networking hardware every year.
Sure.
So they are reducing their reliance on those traditional areas of business, which are not growing so fast, and they are diversifying into more promising areas. So they have emerged as a leader in Internet of Things. In fact, earlier this year, they had acquired Jasper Technologies, and this is an area with huge potential, and this will boost their revenues, continue to boost their revenues going forward. Other hot areas they have been focusing on is security products and solutions,
Right.
Analytics, video conferencing, and they have more than 60 billion of cash on their balance sheet. So I expect some more acquisition in those promising areas. Now looking at their chart, price and EPS surprise, you will see that it's a beautiful chart. They have never missed in last 5 years. So I expect another strong report when they release their earnings next month. It's a Zacks rank 2 buy stock, trading at 14 times forward earnings, so looks great in terms of valuation too. And we hold it in income investor portfolio for a nice combination of growth, value, and income.
All right. Brian, you've got a company that isn't diversified into computer security and storage solutions. It's their business.
Exactly. Now, we've all heard the stories where like a celebrity gets their information hacked and they're posted on the internet, or a department store doesn't properly secure their clients' credit card data and hackers taking that, or even government servers being hacked.
Right.
And we're also in a situation now, as Nina touched on, is companies are taking their old hardware systems and moving it to cloud-based systems.
Right.
And this is where Barracuda comes in. They're for security and storage companies, okay? Now, think of Barracuda as a really sophisticated firewall, okay? And I'm not going to get into minutiae on how their firewall works, but think of it, you have your data,
Right.
and you have the firewall that protects it, okay? And now the old school, the hackers would keep on hitting these same vulnerabilities. Okay, what Barracuda's new firewall does, it plugs all those holes. And it has been so successful that Microsoft has actually adopted it for their Azure cloud-based data platform, okay? Now, this has been so successful that we've seen it over the last 2 quarters. To really understand it, we can take a look at this graph, and it really produces it here, the pricing consensus graph.
Okay.
2015 was horrible for the company. As you can see, the price just dropped here. This is because the company was investing in their infrastructure for their firewalls. And here, the last 2 quarters ago, we started seeing some stabilization and then upticks, as we see here. So we have a nice U shape here. Sorry, the mouse is a little off. And that has led to a unanimous consensus by analysts, as we can see here, all across the board up, that The growth for Barracuda is really highly anticipated. And as you can see for the estimates, we see nice jumps here all across the board. So we see growth not just for next quarter or the quarter after that, we see it for all of this year and of next year. So Terry, what we have here is a company who's really invested in the future. And the last year they paid for it, but now they're bouncing right back up. And analysts are looking at this stock as a really good value company because they went from $42 down to $10, and as a good growth company all the way out to 2017.
Wow.
So it's a good company to look into in multiple facets.
Okay, do you own it?
No, I do not.
All right, check out more stock information on our website, Zacks.com. It's all there on the homepage. You can link to it and get to other parts of the website for stock picks, stock picking strategies, and commentary. With Nina and Brian, I'm Terry Ruffalo.